Stephanie White, I'll say it again, you are a pure bum of a coach. Caitlin Clark has to give the Indiana Fever an ultimatum. That's right. Caitlin, you gotta take a stand, man. I've been disgusted all day about this piss poor, embarrassing performance from the players.
Wait a second. Did Stephanie White just hit the self-destruct button on her coaching career? After that brutal Fever blowout, Caitlin Clark fans didn't just react, they erupted. Think torches, memes, and enough outrage to set off the smoke alarm at a 3 a.m. Waffle House.
Caitlin Clark's return, in which, since this is a lady we're talking about, it looks like Stephanie White has spaded Caitlin Clark, for lack of a better way of putting it. If it was a dude, I'd say neutered, but, you get my point. She has taken away Caitlin Clark's greatest asset.
The backlash is here. It's loud, it's chaotic, and Stephanie might want to log off for a while. So, what actually happened? Why are fans so furious? And is this a total collapse, or just the opening act of a much bigger mess? Let's break it down.
I'm getting concerned about Caitlin Clark's future with the Indiana Fever because it's not just that they're losing these games, it's the manner in which they're losing. It's the low shot attempts from Caitlin Clark. It's the low usage from Caitlin Clark. It's the having her in the corner, coming off these screens, getting the ball on the wing, and then her losing the basketball, keep getting the ball in these unfavorable positions.
Apparently, someone gave Stephanie White a remote from 1997, hit slow motion, and tossed the fast forward button in the trash, because watching the Indiana Fever's offense feels like waiting in line at the DMV. Painfully slow, dull, and inexplicably draining. Fans didn't tune in for a live-action basketball lecture narrated by drying paint. They came for the Caitlin Clark show. Instead, they're stuck watching Where Are They Passing It Now?, featuring no one cutting and guest starring zero spacing.
Caitlin Clark's at small forward, and I'm like, what is going on? Are we trying smaller lineups? I guess okay, but are we doing a point forward situation? Is that what we're doing?
The Fever offense moves with the urgency of a Sunday afternoon nap. You've got Caitlin Clark buzzing with energy, weaving through screens like she's ready to detonate the next highlight reel, only for the play to fizzle out as her teammates casually trot around like they're waiting for an Uber. And Caitlin? She's left watching the game plan melt away like sugar in warm tap water. She's not just the top point guard in the league. She's carrying an entire system that feels like it was sketched on a napkin during brunch at IHOP.
Stephanie White is not going to change. Stephanie White is not going to stop until her style of drag everyone down to their level basketball prevails.
Now, let's talk about the Fever's coaching decisions, which seem to be guided by a blindfold, a dartboard, and an unwavering faith in chaos theory. Benching Lexi Hull? That's not a tactic. That's a distress signal. She was one of the few bringing defense, energy, and a hint of spacing, and yet she's the one getting pulled while the rest of the lineup drifts around like a flash mob that missed rehearsal. Fans are so baffled. They're running screenshots of the rotations through AI just to see if anyone knows what the plan is.
As long as Stephanie White is here, we'll never see the true greatness that Caitlin Clark has within her. We'll never see it. Caitlin Clark has to march up to that front office and say, hey, look, either you guys are going to fix this and we're going to do it my way, or I will not put on this jersey and I will not allow you guys to profit off of me any longer. It's that simple. You want her or you want me.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is still out there dropping dimes into the abyss, threading perfect passes to teammates who catch the ball and immediately enter a full-blown identity crisis. Dribble, hesitate, pass it back, reset, repeat. That's not a system. It's a symptom. It's like the coaching staff discovered the one pace that dulls Caitlin's brilliance. You've got the league's most electric point guard, and somehow she's spending half the game parked in the corner like she's waiting for a ride. That's not strategy, it's sabotage. And let's be honest, you could swap out this offense for a middle school pickup game and nobody would notice. Actually, the kids would probably move more. You've got a once-in-a-generation shooter and visionary passer, and instead of unleashing her, you've got her handing the ball off and disappearing into off-ball purgatory. This isn't basketball. It's a witness protection program.
First, the Golden State Valkyries just cracked the Indiana Fever. Like, there's no way to go around it. They're playing an envious style of basketball, I would say. Something that, when I think of the Indiana Fever, I'm like, yo, they need to be running the offense like that.
The fans are breaking. Whatever patience they had, gone. We've gone from excited live tweets after every Clark dime to people seriously searching, can you sue a coach for basketball negligence? The vibe in the arena has shifted from hopeful to flat-out hostile. And it's not even booze anymore. It's collective, exhausted sighs, like a sitcom audience tired of canned laughter. Meanwhile, one of the few players bringing real defense and hustle is glued to the bench, while we're treated to a rotating door of awkward lineups that have less chemistry than oil and water. Who's managing these rotations? An actual hat? A fortune cookie? Because from the outside, it looks like someone's just picking names based on vibes and pure luck. Even opposing teams are confused. They show up expecting Clark to torch them, only to face 3/4 of off-ball wandering and start second-guessing the scouting report. Coaches come in ready for fireworks and leave wondering if they just beat a team stuck in quicksand. And Caitlyn? She's out there doing everything but cloning herself to play all 5 positions.
The story about Stephanie White, why she likely is like this. You're wondering, like, how did she see Caitlin Clark play like this and decide, you know what, nah, we're going to build through Ari McDonald. Stephanie White, in the years of like 2015-ish, she went to Vanderbilt. And she tried to play an up-tempo offensive game. And they were terrible. They were terrible. She couldn't win a game. And then she goes to the Connecticut Sun and says, screw offense. And by the way, that Connecticut Sun team of good offense players. Bree Jones is a good offense.
This isn't just a case of wasted potential. It feels like sabotage fueled by sheer stubbornness. You've got the most hyped rookie in decades, and the offense being run wouldn't survive a half-court press in a church league. Caitlin Clark, the floor general, the engine of rhythm and spacing, is being used like a fill-in wing player in a system that seems violently allergic to creativity. Every second she's not running the offense is a second tossed into a black hole. It's like asking Mozart to hum in the background while someone else clumsily mashes the piano keys. What's worse, the coach keeps doubling down. The slower the offense gets, the more she leans into it, like turning a broken record into a game plan and pretending the skips are part of the genius. Meanwhile, fans are begging, screaming for tempo, for urgency, for the ball to stay in Caitlyn's hands. And instead, they're met with lineups and rotations that feel more like experimental theater. No one's clapping. Everyone's confused.
23 was the Valkyries' largest lead and 9 was Indiana's largest lead. Caitlyn ended with 10 points. The only person that had more turnovers than her was Tiffany Hayes. She had 6, but she did have a plus in the plus-minus. Tiffany did.
The Fever don't just look lost, they look dedicated to staying that way. It's like they had a treasure map, lit it on fire for fun, and are now wandering the court hoping Caitlin Clark saves them with a miracle floater or a logo 3. And the fans? They're not just upset, they're in full-blown rebellion. Not the loud but ignorable kind either. The kind armed with receipts, stats, slowed down footage, and TikToks breaking down why benching Lexi Hull was the last straw. What started as mild frustration has erupted into a 5-alarm blaze. And the wildest part? It all could have been avoided. Just give Caitlin the ball, clear the space, and let her play. Instead, we've gotten this clunky, over-engineered, joyless version of basketball that's turned hope into heartbreak. You don't build a franchise by dimming your brightest star. You build it by letting her light up the whole damn sky. But right now, it feels like the Fever are doing everything possible to hand her a fire extinguisher instead. It couldn't be more obvious. Caitlin Clark is a point guard, not a decoy, not a corner prop, not a glorified treadmill logging 30 minutes of wind sprints. She's the best floor general in the league, maybe the best to ever step into it. Watching how she's being used right now is like watching someone buy a Ferrari and then ask if it runs on diesel. There's only so much elite talent you can misuse before fans start tuning out. And wow, they're bailing fast. Like Amazon Prime fast. Like, wait, I still have League Pass? Fast. And honestly, who can blame them? We've got refs who seem to need Comic Sans instructions just to call a game. We've got narratives moving faster than the basketball, and a commissioner who treats chaos like a marketing strategy. It's all starting to feel like a late-night parody where everyone's in on the joke. Except the fans. Bad calls? Part of the charm. Rules applied at random? Business as usual. A player gets thrown into next week, and the whistle decides it's on break.
Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White clearly like and respect one another, right? But that doesn't mean they always see eye to eye. And I am beginning to suspect more and more that there's a bit of a divide between the way that they see the game and the way that they think the Indiana Fever should play.
Officiating lately feels less like enforcing rules and more like a bizarre interpretive dance inspired by the rulebook. Caitlin Clark gets hammered on drives, and the refs just stand there blinking, like reality is a little too much for them to process. And let's address the massive, unspoken elephant in the room, the old guard. The gatekeeping energy in this league is so thick, it could hold up a drawbridge. It's like an exclusive club where every seat's already assigned. And if you're the new kid, get ready for the full background check and a multi-step initiation. Fresh talent? That's fine, as long as they don't outshine the vets or worse, try to change the game, because there's a silent code in the WNBA. If you're bold, popular, or heaven forbid, drawing more attention than the legacy stars. Then you must be brought down a peg, not through competition, but through benchings, hard fouls, and cold shoulders. You could be averaging 30 and 10, but if you don't fit the league's unwritten mold, you're getting treated like a rookie walk-on. And if the on-court mess wasn't enough, there's this creeping feeling that the league's been taken over by vibes instead of vision. Rather than building around generational talent and elite basketball, it's turned into a playground of side quests. Fans tuning in for the game now have to wade through a maze of rainbow hashtags, cryptic interviews, petty drama, and PR campaigns that feel more like staged TED Talks than actual sports content. And let's be clear, it's not about inclusivity. True inclusivity amplifies talent. It doesn't bury it under noise. This isn't about representation. It's about distraction. There's so much fluff shoved into the spotlight that people forget there's a basketball game happening somewhere behind the choreographed TikToks and feel-good photo ops. The whole point has been lost. Meanwhile, league leadership acts like everything's fine. Kathy Engelbert might as well be a silent partner at this point, watching the chaos unfold with a smile while the decisions get made in back rooms and fans quietly deflate like a balloon with a slow leak. The house is burning, and the official response? A press release about empowering narratives. There's a reason fans are starting to glance at each other like, wait, are we the only ones seeing this? Because this isn't about one bad call or a questionable benching. It's about a pattern, a system that seems almost allergic to basic logic. The frustration has gone beyond anger. It's fatigue. People are tired of watching their favorite player get trapped in a scheme that seems designed to dim her light. Tired of the double standards, the behind-the-scenes drama, the performative noise being paraded as progress. And if you want a real measure of how bad it's gotten, just look at the fans who've already mentally checked out. Some still watch out of loyalty, others out of routine, but more and more are quietly pulling away, unsubscribing emotionally, even if they haven't canceled their league pass yet. They showed up ready for a fresh chapter. Instead, they got reruns of a worn-out sitcom they've already seen too many times. Caitlin Clark wasn't just a star college player. She was a moment, a movement, a surge of energy the WNBA hadn't seen in years. And how did the system respond? Like a toddler flipping a chessboard mid-game. The message couldn't be clearer now. If you don't play the game their way, you'll be sidelined, minimized, or turned into background noise. Think about all the kids who watched her drain logo threes and thought, I want to be like that, only to find out the league isn't quite ready for the revolution she embodies. This isn't just about one player. It's about the viewers who tuned in for greatness and ended up watching a generational talent get misused like a rusty old lawnmower. The silence from league leadership? Deafening. The coaching decisions? Borderline absurd. And the whole ecosystem? It's starting to feel less like a professional sports league and more like a strange reality show where basketball is just the B-plot. So yes, Stevie Wonder could have seen it from day one. Caitlin Clark is a point guard. Now, if someone could just forward that memo to the people still acting like they missed it.